In this talk, we present deep learning to segment pelvic bones, large-scale CT dataset, and baseline models, a joint work done with my co-authors at Chinese Academy of Sciences and Jinshan Hospital. We first introduced the motivation of this work. The pelvis is an important structure connecting the spine and the lower limbs, and plays a vital role in maintaining the stability of the body and protecting the internal organ of the abdomen. There are many kinds of pelvic injuries in this region, like pelvic fracture, and is also our entry point to pelvic injuries. When diagnose and treat patients with pelvic injuries, medical imaging plays an important role in this process. Compared with X-ray, CT can provide more details about the damaged site to surgeons, though it is often used for 3D reconstruction to make follow-up surgery planning and evaluation of post-operative effects. In some intelligent surgery applications, how to get fast and accurate pelvic bone segmentation is important. In the past, doctors segmented pelvic bones manually or by traditional algorithm. It is time-consuming and not accurate. So we want to use deep learning-based method in our system. Deep learning has achieved great success in medical image processing field, but there are little datasets in bone segmentation community for training a deep network. So we annotated some clinical CT images. We found that it can perform well in the same institution, but cannot generate well to other datasets. In order to develop a robust system to benefit the pelvic surgery and diagnosis community, we plan to make and open source a large-scale dataset. It is now called CT Pelvic 1K. The next is data collection. To build a comprehensive dataset, we have to deal with diverse image appearance variations, like different image resolution, different field of view, and domain shift arising from different sites, or the presence of contrasted vessels, the chimney, bone fractures, lodels, and mental artifacts. Because clinical data collection is relatively difficult, and the distribution of data from one institution is the same, so we collected some datasets from different sources. Here are some information about these subdatasets. Five of them are from existing datasets containing different appearance features, and two are from clinical collections. After collection, considering the scale of thousands of cases in our dataset, and the annotation itself is truly a subjective and time-consuming task, we introduce a strategy of annotation by iterative deep learning (AID) to speed up our annotation process. In the AID workflow, we train a deep network with a few processly annotated data in the beginning. Then the deep network is used to automatically annotate more data, followed by revision from human experts. The human-corrected annotations and their corresponding images are added to the training set to retrain a more powerful deep network. These steps are repeated iteratively until we finish our annotation task. In the last, only minimal modification is needed by human experts. In total, we have annotations for 1,109 mental-free cities and 14 mental-affected cities. The remaining 61 mental-affected cities of images are left unannotated. We plan to use them in an unsupervised setting. The next is segmentation module. Here is the overview of our pelvic bone segmentation system. It learns from multi-domain CT images for effective and robust representations. The 3D UNet calculated version of NNUNet is used here to exploit more spatial information in 3D CT images. Of course, CT patches here. And the SDF, send distance function, is introduced to our post-processor to add a distance constraint besides size constraint used in traditional MCR-based post-processor. MCR means maximum connected region. Here is the formula of SDF. We can get a 3D distance map that increases from the bone border to the image boundary. When we set a threshold, we can get a region surrounding our main target structure. For example, in this figure, only those parts that are large enough and close enough to the main target structure will be returned. Below are some results of comparison with traditional MCR-based post-processor. You can see that some major fracture fragment can be retained. This distance constraint is useful for a pelvic fracture scenario.
To prove that learning from our large-scale pelvic bones CT datasets is helpful to improve the robustness of our segmentation system, we conducted a series of experiments in different aspects. Here is a visualization of one of our main experimental results. We trained 6 deep networks, one network per single subdataset, and another network trained on the whole large-scale dataset, denoted by phi-all. Phi means model here. Then we tested them on each subdataset. We observed that the results of model all are generally better than those models trained on a single subdataset. They are difficult to consistently perform well in other domains, except the second model here, phi:(OG). It originally contains the largest amount of data from various sources. This observation implies that the domain gap problem does exist, and the solution of collecting data directly from multi-sources is effective. Furthermore, we also implement leave one out cross-validation of these 6 mental-free subdatasets to verify the generalization ability of this solution. Models are marked as EX subdatasets. It means that we train the model with 5 subdatasets and test on the other one. The result of EX:(OG) can fully explain that training with data from multi-sources can achieve good results on data that has not been seen before. The models trained separately on the other 5 subdatasets cannot achieve good results on ((OG). But aggregating these 5 subdatasets can get a comparable result compared with model all, using only 1/3 of the amount of data. More data from multi-sources can be seen as additional constraints on model learning, prompting the network to learn better feature representations of the pelvic bones and the background. For more experimental results and discussion, for example, generalization across manufacturers or limitation of the dataset, please refer to our online resource 1. At the end, I want to introduce our recent work, CT-span Yuanqi dataset. It consists of more than 1,000 CT images annotated with 24 vertebrae. For more information about this dataset, you can refer to our lab's GitHub homepage. And CT Bone is coming. We will open source a model or a dataset covers spine and pelvic bones simultaneously, so please stay tuned for that. Thanks for your attention.